Hello and welcome to Focus on Liberia, another edition of the Hour of Politics. I'm Anthony CA, your host. Welcome and welcome to the broadcast. Do us that, use your favor and share the broadcast with your contacts. We have two major issues to provide analysis for, and we will always do our utmost best to make things simple for you. And so, welcome. Focus on Liberia, always broadcasting from our headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. Our goals have always been so simplistic. We educate, we elevate, and we promote all things Liberia. And in today's edition, we will be looking at two major topics. The Unity Party just ended convention. We will do a political analysis. And we'll also do a political analysis on President Weah's U.S. African Summit invitation that is getting a lot of buzz. Everybody trying to give their take. Some people are celebrating that as a milestone, and we're going to look at that and see whether actually this is a milestone achievement by the CDC government. It's just this is something from the U.S. government, that is the U.S. government that's trying to project itself to show a significant presence in Africa. Is this what it's all about, or is it about Liberia trying to score a goal on the international stage here? We're going to look at that, very succinctly and provide critical political analysis for you to understand, these two major issues. So let us get started right now.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jar.
And I'm Anthony CA here at the Hour of Politics with political analysis on two major issues. Let's get to it. Issue number one, the Unity Party just ended convention in Bom County, specifically took place in the city of Banga. So at long last, the Unity Party had its convention. The convention is something that is called for by the Unity Party's constitution. But despite this known fact, in the Unity Party's constitution, the Unity Party had some fear from the get-go, right? And so they were so protective of their political leader, Vice President Joseph Boakai. And so some members of the Unity Parties were like, well, Boakai is being elected and his term continues up to the next presidential election. So we do not necessarily have to go to another convention for him to be considered, our, candidate to be. And so people were like, what? Really? I mean, if he was elected for a 6-year term as a political leader for Unity Party, are you trying to suggest that between the time he got elected to the next election, that 6 year would not have expired? And so he would still be your guy? And, so that came from the main fact that the Unity Party, some members were afraid that somebody could challenge Joseph Boakai. They were also afraid that there could be some form of infiltration, because the Unity Party all along have had this fear that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is not happy with Boakai and that she will not hesitate to do anything to undermine the chances of Joseph Boakai. Now, the United Party has been so protected. So they were trying to see how they can maintain Mr. Bwaka's, possible candidacy for the upcoming 2023 general and presidential elections. Now, it was this same fear to maintain him as their guy for the Liberian presidency or as their candidate to be in 2023 that led them to even, floating the issue of block voting. Now, this piece is significant. Now, the Unity Party has a legitimate reason here. Now, in the Unity Party, the person that has the name recognition, whose name is commonplace in Liberian politics, who at least some people will know in each country in Liberia is Josiah Yumambwaka. That is a political plus. Name recognition is a significant, aspect for any candidate that you want to vote for. Because if you don't know the candidate, how will you vote for the candidate? If you know the candidate, then at least you know why you're voting for, and in some instances, you know what who you are not voting for. And so it also makes the candidates to be easier to sell. It comes with its own baggage, though. If the person is known for negativity, if the narrative is stuck against the person, then you also have a difficult job to do. But the Unity Party has recognized that that name recognition is something that they will do everything to protect and not, raise the chance of undermining that possibility. And so they floated that. So that fear, for some reason, got out of the way. Apparently, those who were opting to challenge Mr. Bwaka themselves at long last realized, well, given the current leadership of the Unity Party, the structure of the Unity Party, we had no chance. And more so, maybe there was not any person who was prepared to challenge Mr. Bwaka. We heard, one McIntosh, I think Togawe, I forgot the name, bear with me here, who at some point himself said, floated the idea that, he would like to challenge Mr. Bwaka. But the short of the long is this fear was significant that he could be challenged and anything could happen. And it was that same fear that brought about block voting. The Unity Party had ever since or long since, had recognized Josiah Yumambwaka name recognition and wanted to do everything or has been doing everything to protect that because it's significant in politics. So now the convention came. Now, convention time is a time for politics. And for some reason, when you are going to convention, we present an opportunity to maintain the current leadership or elect a new leadership. It should be based on the issues. Now, first of all, let's talk about the good thing about the convention that happened. The good thing is that the Unity Party had a convention. It went on successfully. We can pinpoint some disagreements, some complaints here and there, but at the end of it all, the convention went on uninterrupted. It ended peacefully. They elected their leaders, and those who did not win considered defeat, and they congratulated those who won. They congratulated them. So that was in itself a good thing, to see that the Unity Party has transitioned from one leadership to the other. So we should recognize that. Now, we can talk about whether or not Mo Ali is not happy with the way the election went. We can talk about Amin Munda not happy with the way the election went. These are two candidates, pretty much more like the two persons who sustained a significant defeat when, in fact, these were the two major political actors in the Unity Party. They stirred the affairs of the Unity Party, even leading to the convention. They'll provide the leadership for the Unity Party throughout its engagement with the CPP. And in their best judgment, they did everything to protect Josiah Yumambwaka. And so they had expected that Joseph Bwaka would have supported them and also go further by endorsing them to see that, they get re-elected. But unfortunately, that was not the case. Josiah Yumambwaka to a neutral role, publicly. He was neutral publicly, but we got reports that in the back end he had, shared a support for Tapet, who won as chairman, and also for Tuel, Amos Tuel, who won as the secretary general of the party, and that he was not supporting Mo Ali, and he was not supporting Ami Munda. So let's talk about that, more. But again, let me conclude on the positives. They went to the convention. It was peaceful, and they elected their leaders, and now they have a new leadership. We saw democracy at play. But let's go to the substance. There were a lot of bad things about it. There were some of the things that were distasteful. And this is commonplace in most political parties. Why were Mo Ali and Amin Bonda not elected? Why? Were they not elected? Were they defeated based on policy differences? Is it because as two executives of the party, Unity Party, they did not achieve what their goals were at the time when they got elected? Usually candidates run with platform, will do this, will do that. Is it that they didn't achieve those goals? Or is it that the Unity Party did not have any major success throughout the time they were in leadership? And even during the campaign of the convention, did the candidates, did they campaign on the issues or did they attack personality? This is the bad side of the politics, right? About this convention. People don't focus on the issues. People focus on personality. People attack personality. People don't raise the issues. They don't attack the issues. They don't elevate the issues that should make the political party what it should be for and not necessarily what it's against. That is never the case. And this is the thing that is disheartening about our politics. So talking about that in details, why did Mo Ali lose? Was it because as Secretary General, he did not increase the membership of the party? Why did Amin Moda lose? Is it because as chairman, they did not increase the Unity Party presence in the county by establishing structures? Were these people defeated on it based on the issues, based on deliverables, or based on their failures, or based on the fact that they were not able to achieve those things that were set aside or laid down by their administration that they would have achieved? What we saw throughout the convention was this sweeping allegation that Mo Ali and Amu Munda were regime collaborators. The debate, the argument, the issues were laid aside. Those that won these two candidates, they didn't argue that Mo Ali and Amin Munda failed to increase the party's membership. They didn't say anything like that. They didn't talk about their failure to establish structures in the counties. They didn't argue that they didn't provide excellent leadership that would have made the CPP to hold. They didn't make that argument. What we saw was this accusation that, they were regime collaborators. Isn't this was what we get all the time? Now, let me contrast that with other democracy, especially, for me, I like to compare Liberia with US. Some people don't like that. When you want to be better, when you want to be best, you got to set the standard high. You want to be the best in the world, all right? Because if you set that standard, even if you get 50%, then you are arrive at somewhere very meaningful, and significant. So it should be about the issues, but it was more about, even we heard things like Ami Munda, Ebano Joseph Yemambwaka in Lofa County. Is that a reason why he was rejected? If this man was not elected, it should be based on the fact that the party has certain goals to achieve within that time period. And he as chairman of the party was not able to achieve those things. And so on that basis, we are now electing him. It was on the basis of Amin Munda, the individual, and it was not whether or not he has failed based on goals that were set by the party. And that under his leadership, the party could not achieve those goals. It was not on the basis. The same can be said about Mo Ali. The reason they got defeated was more so of this allegation about being regime collaborators. Isn't that what is said all the time? During campaign, people accuse their opponents of so many things. If we are to be voting, if our parties are making decisions based on frivolous and meaningless accusations, why allegations, then we are putting the issue aside. So it is clear that the reason this individual was not voted for or got defeated was not about the issues. It was about who they were or are or have been or how they've been perceived in the party, that they're not strong enough. It was not based on the party deliverables, the party goals. It was not based on the party philosophy. Maybe it was this, oh, we just want a fresh start, and fresh start would mean anything other than Amin Munda and Mo Ali. Now, we could also point this out. The fact that they went to Lofa County for the by-election, the Unity Party got defeated. 8 candidates could not win. Some people are blaming Amin Munda. They are blaming Mo Ali. Mo Ali is not from Lofa. My understanding is that he's from Grand Kidman County, if I'm correct. Now, Amin Munda is not from Lofa. I know him to be a resident of Monserrado County. That is his county. So how can you blame these two individuals who are now from Lofa County for the failure of the Unity Party? So if you can blame Amin Munda and Mo Ali for Unity Party failure in Lofa County, why are you not blaming Joseph Yimam Bouaka? Because Joseph Yimam Bouaka did not get any opposition. No one contested against him. If Unity Party's failure not to win in Lofa County is one of the reasons that Amin Munda got rejected and Mo Ali got rejected, why are you leaving Joseph Yimam Bouaka out, who actually from Lofa County, who actually in last election won on the Lofa County? And he, with him campaigning, instead the Unity Party cannot win. Why? So Joseph Bouaka now is untouchable because he is the political leader. Is that what it is? Now, this accusation that, oh, why they were in Lofa County, Amin Munda left Joseph Yimam Bouaka in Lofa County and went to Virginia City, and he slept there, and he even came to Monrovia and left the stand-up barrel there. What sense does it make? How can that be a reason for his rejection as being articulated by members of the party? Is Amin Munda a personal bodyguard to Joseph Yimam Bouaka? No. And as a matter of fact, Amin Munda then was the chief executive of the party. He was the head of the party, Unity Party. And you wanted the head of that political institution to serve as a bodyguard to judge the arrowhead Joseph Yimam Bouaka? Amin Munda road is not to provide personal security for Joseph Bouaka. As a political lead, as a party chairman, he can leave anytime he wants to leave. So to have used that line as a reason, again, was this usual unfortunate politics of blaming individuals and not holding them accountable based on the party's goals and plans that it have outlined to achieve. These are the frivolous things people resort to. So the two persons, notably, that did lose, Amin Munda and Mo Ali. Who are these individuals? How are they perceived in Liberian politics. Liberian politics can get trouble. Amin Munda is a Liberian who has a Lebanese blood in him. Some people brought that line that this man is not Liberian enough. Did Amin Munda fail to get re-election because of that? The people in the Unity Party chose not to vote for him because, quote unquote, he's being viewed as not being Liberian enough. I don't know. But this was the very Amin Munda, when Unity Party needed somebody, Unity Party elected him. So is it fair to Unity Party for others to say, oh, well, Unity Party did not elect him this time because he has Lebanese blood? This is a very Unity Party that elected him. Could the Unity Party have elected him based on the fact that he's a Lebanese and then turn around and not vote for him because he's Lebanese? He's a Lebanese. So we have to look at those things. And then that comes to Mo Ali. Mo Ali is also one of those persons who, unfortunately, Liberian politics sometimes get into the tribal line and the issue of segregation and try to identify people, their identity politics. Some people feel he's not Liberian enough. They are calling him all manners of names. Some people are calling that he's from Egypt and all that. These things should not be the reasons. But unfortunately, in politics in Liberia, and not only in Liberia, in all democracies around the world, people find those things that people are emotionally attached to. And then they will put it on their opponent as a label, because for some people it is very strong. There are some people, unfortunately, in our country today who say, well, I'm not voting for this person because the person is Mandingo, for example. There are some people in our country, unfortunately, say, well, I'm not voting for this person because the person is a Muslim. This is a reality that we must face. That is the elephant in the room. Now, bear you in mind, though, Amin Munda was very helpful to the Unity Party. When the Unity Party got evicted, it was Amin Munda who negotiated their now new headquarters that they have down Broad Street, down in Central Monrovia. The property is owned by Amin Munda's brother, so he was very instrumental. Now, unconfirmed report had it that he actually provided, bulk of the money that the Unity Party needed at that time to securing that party headquarters. So this is Amin Munda, whose leadership removed what was an embarrassment and a disgrace to the Unity Party. He took that away. And this man was loyal to Joseph Boakai, just as Mo Ali was also loyal to Joseph Boakai. And it was under these two individuals' leadership that the Unity Party secured a new headquarters when it was evicted by the McLean for failure to pay dues. So if these people were actually voted out because they did not deliver based on party's goals and party's priorities and the issue of being responsible leaders, then why was Joseph Boakai elected? Is it because he's a big man and that's why they left him alone? Because it was Onam Boakai's wife also that they got evicted. It was Onam Boakai's wife also that the CDC imploded, which was bad for the entire opposition community. You can blame all of them for that. It was Onam Boakai's wife also that they did not win in Lofa County, a county that Boakai won, a county that Unity Party won. So you cannot exclude or excuse Boakai of these party failures and punish Amin Munda and Mo Ali because of who they are. And I'm not saying that the party does not have the right to vote for who it wanted, but the party needed to make a decision based on the party's goal, the party's plan, their failures to achieving those goals and actualizing or implementing those plans and taking the party to a much better place. That is what the politics should have been about. But the politics was downgraded to, Amin Munda and maybe he's not Liberian enough, or Mo Ali is not Liberian enough. This is all it came to. And it was also more so that Elola Bwaka didn't want them. And Mo Ali complained that the old man was not gracious to him enough. There was a leak audio. So these individuals now, they are not party leaders, but they congratulated those who defeated them. And they both promised that they will be able to work with the party for the survivability of the party. Now, going forward, whether or not these individuals will stay with the party, whether or not they will in some way or the other undermine the party because of the dissatisfaction they are feeling right now, is something we are yet to see. But chances are that the fact that Unity Party, irrespective of what you may think of the Unity Party, I believe the Unity Party has some numbers because of the name Unity Party and also because of the name Joseph Boakai. It's one of the biggest opposition political party in Liberia. And so if these individuals are to leave for dissatisfaction, where do they go? Wherever they decide to go, will they be welcome? They accuse Mo Ali of collaborating with CDC. Can he go to the CDC? Will he be welcome? This very Mo Ali, the CDC butchered him out of government. This is the very CDC, Mo Ali, the CDC had invited and even wanted to put in jail because of a Facebook post. So this Mo Ali now going to go to the CDC. Will he be welcome? CDC has a history that they will do everything to win you over. And by the time they get you, they dumped you. That we remember the Christmas Sale. Christmas Sale today is no more because of the frustration that the CDC, the CDC was very ungrateful to him. We also know about D-Flow. D-Flow insulted people here for CDC, went to Morovia, came back. The CDC dumped him before he could even decide to leave the CDC. That is the CDC history, and I can go on to name so many people. All right, Man Jabate. Man Jabate in no time joined the CDC from nowhere. Man Jabate could not be welcome in the CDC as he expected, and now he does not have any face in the opposition community that was so gracious to him when he was with the opposition. So this is the CDC history. Can Mo Ali make a conscious decision to go to the CDC, knowing all these facts about the CDC? So Mo Ali, I think would be a little more safe staying home and enjoying the sympathies that he has accrued from this defeat, and might be able to survive. And I think the same can be said about Mo Ali. Amin Munda. Or can Mo Ali go to the ANC, for example? If he goes to the ANC, will he be welcome? Mo Ali was one of those persons who prosecuted politically Alexander Cummings on the framework document alteration. Can he go to the ANC? Will the ANC welcome him? The ANC will say, yeah, we'll welcome him. But there are elements in the ANC who will remember what he did. This was a man who was supposed to testify against Cummings. This was a man who maintained the position that the documents were authored by Alexander Benedict Cummings. So where can Mo Ali go? If he is to go somewhere as to be the Liberty Party is in chaos. So he can't go anywhere. My belief is that he's going to stay home. The same can be said about, Amin Munda. Now, the final piece I want to point out here is that leading to the convention, there was this exorbitant fees being released by the Amin Munda administration, where the standard bearer, needed to pay $7,500 as Kennedy fees, right? And then the chairman, about 5,000, and then vice chairperson supposed to pay 3,500, and the list goes on and on. So many members of the Unity Party complained that that was like putting all the party or the position up for sale because those amounts were so huge, and they have feared that the party will be infiltrated by people who are not loyal to the Unity Party, and money will come from other sources who may have interest in the destruction of the Unity Party and support Kennedy, because at the end of the day, whoever gets the money is more likely to win, because many Unity Party partisans are experiencing, challenges, or they don't have money. And so where would they get the money from? So Money can come from an outside source, another political institution or another political leader, can chunk the money in and say, hey, go and run, so that at the end of the day, while you are in a unity party, you can give me information, or if a decision is to be made, you can help to influence that decision that will minimize the unity party chances, so that my chances can be increased in the upcoming election. So some members had that fear, but despite all of these fears, the Unity Party had a convention, and here we are today. Joseph Yimam Bwaka went on a post, and I think Uncle Joe is happy and he's smiling. I don't know whether or not this will make the Unity Party to stand stronger as an opposition political party. Another thing I'm going to point out here is that if you look at the new leadership is predominantly, the key leaders, they are predominantly Southeastern. What is going on here? This is the Unity Party that had accused, rightfully so, and I agree with them, that the George Rice government is predominantly Southeastern. That most of the key officials in the government and more officials in the government are from the Southeast, and it's happened because George Rice is from the Southeast. This is the Unity Party now that went to convention. They elected a Tapper as its chairman and elected a Tour as its secretary general. So Southeasterners are in charge here. Is that something that's going to piss people from Lowford and other northern counties off who have been committed to the Unity Party? Or is Joseph Bwaka trying to say that, look, I am not about parties, I'm about competence and all that. And so under his watch, and under the watch of Amemon, that we should give him credit to, right? They were able to produce a leadership that at the top, produced two candidates of two leaders who are from the Southeast. So what does it tell us? This is a political party that saw these candidates and voted for them. And I think they voted for them not on the basis of where they come from, but they saw that maybe they would become better representation and provide excellent and better leadership than Ame Munda and Mo Ali. I believe strongly it was on that basis they made that decision. But we cannot remove the fact that these people are Southeasterners. Was it a conscious decision? Was Unity Party focusing on, quality, performance, leadership, the know-how? I believe that was the driving force behind the decision, except that it landed this way, that those two major leaders who got elected having to come from the Southeast. So what we can learn from this is that leadership should not be about where the person comes from. In as much as the person is a Liberian, it should not matter. What should matter is what they are able to do to move that institution forward, to move that country forward. It should not matter most that they're from the region. Now, it would be fair, though, especially in our governance space, that leadership is diversified, that every country is participating. But it is not a foregone conclusion that because we have, each percentage represented in the government, our government is going to deliver for our people. That is not a guarantee. A government can be one-sided, as other people say. If the people are intentional and want to do well, they will do well. So I want us to look at that also and not dwell on that. But how be it, I would say that the Southeastern boys are not in charge of the Unity Party, and you cannot take that away. But it should not be the thing that people should be saying, because at the end of it does not matter. What will matter is what are they able to do in terms of providing leadership in the Unity Party. So the Unity Party election, to conclude, the convention was successful. But the election was not based on the issues. The election or the convention was based on personal attacks, was based on personality. The whole thing was driven by personality contests. It was based on, frivolous applications against other people. It was not based on the issue. Unity Party was not, where do we take the party from here? Who is the best person to take our party? How they didn't campaign on that, okay, I will create more structures in the county. I will make sure I increase Unity Party membership in the county. I will take Unity Party membership from maybe 500,000 to 1 million members. It was not based on that. It was based on, oh, Amin Moda and Mo Ali, they are regime collaborators. Or Joseph Boakai is not in your corner. Joseph Boakai prefers Tape and prefers Twer. So that is how we are going to vote. And that is sad. Very, very sad and unfortunate that it was not about the issues that increased the standing, the political standing, and the political wherewithal of the institution, the Unity Party, and that the politics was downgraded to, Amin Mudab, a Lebanese man, he fought, he not strong, he will not be a good face for our people who go into election. Many people say, oh, the Lebanese man is their party chairman. I don't think so. Or this other man, Mo Ali, I'm not sure he's Liberian enough. You know, that is what the politics was reduced to. And for Unity Party to be making that calculation, if not the entire Unity Party, but some members, but I would say that this could be the calculation of the Unity Party. Because this Unity Party, under Joseph Boakai, the last election, Joseph Boakai was talking about the indigenous ticket. He was talking about indigenous ticket. They were playing, to this ugly politics that, oh, if we say indigenous ticket, majority of the voters being seen or see themselves as indigenous Liberian, those who are from the different tribes. If I say this is an indigenous ticket, and this is not a so-called, Concord ticket, then chances are that our people will come around. Joseph Boakai campaign made that argument, and that was unfortunate. He said that what they have calculated in this convention for which the decision ended the way it did against Amin Moda and Mo Ali. I'm just asking questions and I'm just doing political analysis, and I want you to think about these things, so deeply. So that is, or that will do it for the Unity Party convention. Now we will take a short break. When we come back, we'll be going to our second issue. The second issue here is President Weah's U.S. African Summit invitation. We see some celebration. We see some political pundits seeing this as a plus for the CDC government. Is it actually a plus? Is this a welcoming news for the CDC? Should members of the CDC even celebrate this announcement? We will look into that when we come back. A short break, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Ja.
Thank you. We are back with you. The next issue we want to talk about here quickly is President Weah's invitation to the African Summit. So what is actually the African Summit? What is this African Summit all about? Hey, I have forgotten a major piece of this issue with the Unity Party Convention. At the Unity Party Convention, Joseph Yimam Boakai spoke. This is very significant. I can't leave it out. It is very significant. So when Joseph Boakai was given the opportunity after everything ended, he spoke. Mr. Boakai said a lot of things. He said that voters' anger against President Weah in 2023 will prevent him from rigging the election. So this is Mr. Boakai saying that President Weah is not going to rig the election of 2023 or 2023 election. President Weah is not going to rig it because the voters are angry. That is why President Weah will not rig it. What kind of logic is that? Because the people angry, President Weah is not going to rig the election. Because when he rigs the election, the people will be so angry that, is he suggesting that President Weah, when he rigs the election, the Liberian people will get in the street and go after him and run him out of the country? That it is a known fact that is guaranteed to happen, and so President Weah, knowing that, will not rig the election? What kind of logic is that? Does it actually make sense that President Weah will not rig the election because the people are angry with him? I'm sure the people of Lofa, some of them have been angry with President Weah, right? So I really don't know. I don't want to go into details here, but what is the logic there? What is Mr. Walker saying here? Now, he said many citizens are furious, but they are silent about their disapproval of the president and are waiting for the right time to kick him out or to strike back. So he said the voters are angry. They are very furious. The reason why they are silent right now about their disapproval is because, they don't see anything that's going to happen if they should express any frustration right now. So they are waiting for election to strike back. He said a lot of people are disgruntled, but keeping quiet and lying low. Our people are suffering terribly, and now they are being sold into slavery. Joseph Walker speaking right there. He said, everyone knows my track record of inviting and attracting good team and giving them the opportunity to work professionally. Liberians are tired of leaders who cannot think big and walk big. Joseph Walker is saying he can think big and walk big. Folks, do you know Mr. Walker having a history of thinking big and walking big? What has been his big, thinking? How big has he worked? Is walking big just being vice president of the Republic of Liberia? Is that the walking big he's talking about? As vice president, what did he deliver for Liberia that Liberians remember? So talking about thinking big, is that his statement about think Liberia, love Liberia, and rescue Liberia? Is that the thinking big? I really don't see how Walker is a big thinker and how is this big walker that he walks so big. Maybe because he has, managed to hold a big position, head of FPRC, head of FPMC, agriculture minister, and non-ambassador of Liberia. Is that the working big he talking about? Because working big should be somebody who has been able to deliver a lot of big things for the people of Liberia. When he served as vice president, I don't know about any huge thing that went to Lofa County. The road to Lofa County has been a challenge. Lofa County, I'm not sure they have any reliable electricity or got any reliable electricity during their time in power. So what is the big work that he's talking about? I don't see it. Maybe somebody can help me. And he talked about that he has the track record of inviting and attracting a good team. What is Joseph Walker's track record of inviting and attracting, a good team? In 2017, the team he put together was a bad team. His choice for VP was a bad choice. That contributed to his defeat. What kind of good team he had at the time? I didn't pay attention too much to his team at the time because I was very hungry. But when I came back and I went to the record, I didn't see a very big team that he had together. And I may be wrong here, but help me out here. Does Joseph Walker has a track record of putting a good team together and working professionally? That is the argument Uncle Joe is making. He said defeating President Weah would be a cakewalk. In other words, it's almost like saying a walk in the park for the Unity Party in 2023 because citizens themselves won't change. So he said that the only reason he's going to defeat President Weah is because the citizens won't change. And that this election would be a cakewalk. Cake, how you can eat cake? When you go to the cake to get a piece to eat, it's easy, right? The cake is already big. It's sweet with the cream on it. The sugar is on top of it. You just take a knife and cut a piece and you're ready. As soon as you put it in your mouth, it just melts in your mouth. So he said, this election will be a cakewalk. It's just like somebody going to the kid and grabbing a piece and eating it. That is how easy it's going to be. The reason, because the Liberian people themselves want change. Is he suggesting that he does not have to do anything? He just have to chill? And the people have seen enough of President Weah incompetence? Is that why he's betting on? Because the last time I checked, Joseph Imam Waka, put a bet on the people of Lofa that Weah is not doing well enough, that he has the name recognition, and he's from Lofa County, and that it was a foregone conclusion that the Unity Party was going to win Lofa County. What happened? That bet did not materialize for Joseph Waka. Is he making a risky move here with this kind of statement coming from him? I would have loved him to say that we will fight for every vote. We will work to earn every vote in every county. We will go to every village and every hamlet. We will talk to every citizen in and out of Liberia to earn their vote. But he's saying the people want change. The people are tired. President Weah has done everything wrong. So it will be a cakewalk. Is he taking a risk here? Is he trying to get complacent here, just as the Unity Party was complacent in Lofa County and they got the shock of their life? He's talking about President Weah is not going to cheat. Some people believe that the election that took place in Lofa County, there was some form of cheating that went on. Some people believe that very strongly. And the temptation to believe that is strong because if you look at the way the numbers were coming, the National Election Commission tallied and all that candidates appearing twice. And all those things, if you do a deep dive and investigate, chances are that you will believe, some form of cheating went on. I'm not sure Lofa people in their majority are happy with President Weah. I'm sure many of them are furious. But if this theory that there was cheating went on is any true, then he cheated anyway. Then the people anger did not stop him from cheating. If, I continue to say if, this is an analysis. So for Bwaka to be betting on all the people so angry, so President Weah is not going to rig the election, I think it's a gamble that he's trying to play. And he went on to say, President Weah has become politically weak after squandering the goodwill the Liberian people had accorded him in 2017 presidential election. Mr. Bwaka will not leave the war squandering. After he said the Unity Party squandered opportunity, maybe he has an argument here that we as a Unity Party, we squander opportunities. That is why we did not win the election in 2017. So President Weah, like the Unity Party, Mr. Bwaka is arguing that Mr. Joshua is squandering a lot of goodwill the Liberian people have given him. So on that basis, he will not win the election. Because just as we Unity Party squander opportunity, the Liberian people did not elect us, President Weah is squandering so much goodwill, so the Liberian people would not vote them. And could it mean that he does not necessarily have to, he does not necessarily have to do anything much? And since Unity Party has squandered opportunity and got kicked out, Joshua is squandering goodwill, Joshua is going to get kicked out. That is what Joseph Bwaka is saying. Then finally he said, I will definitely beat him this time. He has wasted a lot of his massive goodwill. He said Joshua has wasted a lot of his goodwill given to him by the Liberian people. And so he will definitely beat him this time. I will be ready from day one should the Liberian people elect me as president in 2003. I mean 2023, not 2003. In 2023. So Mr. Bwaka is saying if the Liberian people elect him, he will be ready on day one to work for the Liberian people. And that Weah has squandered a lot of goodwill. And he's definitely going to beat him this time. So, folks, that will do it for the Unity Party. We will take a commercial break. When we come back, we will be looking into the CDC government is blowing the trumpet of President Weah's invitation to the African Summit. What do we make of that? Stay tuned, folks.
What if money can do? What if money can do? What if money can do? Well, what if money can do? What if money can do? What if money can do?
This August, the All Liberian Unity Festival comes alive in New York City, USA. The 3-day event will run from August 26th to the 28th. It promises to be a whole weekend of festivities with top Liberian artists rocking the stage. Activities to include county meet soccer games, red, white and blue welcome on the boat, the Red Carpet Award Night, and the Invincible 11 Mighty Barrow will be climaxing the weekend as we barbecue together. Come and see the Lofa Judem, the Bassa Judem, the Pella Judem, Nimba Judem, the Big Time Judem, the Grand Judem, and the Congo Judem, the December Judem, plus all other Judem rocking the boat and the award nights, including the Black American Judem. Don't forget our Swiss Judem and the NGO Judem will be there too. What are you waiting for? Do your reservations now and be part of the first ever Unity Festival in the city of New York. Come rocking your national colors and repping your county. Our dresses will be out soon. For more information and reservations, contact 9299556227.
What if money can do?